like I said, your character became so iconic and it resonated with so many fans. And when you were first going into this film, because again, it was such a big, it turned out to be such a big franchise, and actually
Right.
they were gonna do Godfather Part 4, but then obviously Mario Puzo passed away, so we didn't get to see the next installment. But what I read online was that there was supposed to be someone else. I'm not even sure if this is true, but there was supposed to be someone else playing Joey Zaza, but then you stepped in after. So if that's true, how did you feel going into this franchise at first? Like, was there a lot of pressure, and like how did you go about it?
Well, I don't know. The thing about stepping in for anybody else, as far as I know, that wasn't the case. At least if it was, I don't know about that.
Okay.
Like I did know there were other instances. Like I said, when what's his name, when when they weren't able to use Robert Duvall, I mean, ultimately George Hamilton kind of came aboard, and Don Novello, they kind of filled up that slot a little bit. So they came in kind of late in the game because they were negotiating with Robert right up to the end, and then like I said, they changed that script pretty quickly. Well, what was interesting for me is I found out I got the role from the pizza guy on the corner from where I lived at the time in Studio City, California, because I knew I was up for the role. I mean, I knew I'd been submitted. Coppola had already seen me do the play Glengarry Glen Ross on Broadway, where I won a
Yes.
Tony
Yep.
Award, so he was familiar with me. And I'd also done this movie called Wait Until Spring Bandini, based on a John Fante book, and that was co-produced by Coppola's company. So Francis knew me. He knew who I was as an actor. So I knew I was kind of in the mindset of possibly at least doing this role. I didn't know if there was anybody else who else was considered or not, but all I'm saying is I knew I was up for it. Well, this was a Friday, and my wife ordered some. I remember I think fettuccine alfredo, and I was going to go pick it up at the corner restaurant that we went to. Actually, the restaurant Vitello's, which got infamous later on because that was the place that Robert Blake was at supposedly when his wife got shot. It was owned by two brothers back then. They're not the same ownership now. But anyway, I go to Vitello's to pick up the food, and it was owned by two Italian brothers. And I remember the one brother, Joe. I walked in, and he says to me, Joe Mantegna, you son of a bitch, you're going to be in The Godfather 3. And I said, what? He said, you're going to be in The Godfather 3. And I said, and I'm like thinking, what the hell what's he talking about? Why would he even know that I'm up for a role in this movie? I go, well, Joe, I said, where did you hear this? He goes, my cousin, he works at for the whatever Zoetrope Pictures. He's there, and he says today they're doing the final casting, and they put the pictures up under the wall of all the cast who's going to be in it. They got Al Pacino, they got Diane Keaton, the Papatu, and they put your name up on a wall. And I went, oh. I said, well, yeah. I said, well, I know I'm being considered. I haven't, all I could think of is I got to get out of the restaurant and get home and call my agent. So I said, well, we'll see. Yeah, thank you for, I said, they probably trying to reach me now. So I just ran home. It was like the block away. I get on the phone with my agent. I said, the pizza guy just told me I'm doing the movie. He goes, oh, I was just going to call you. We just got the call from the casting department that Coppola's cast you as Joey Zaza in the movie. I said, son of a bitch, wouldn't you know it? The pizza guy, it's so perfect in a way you think about it. The Italian connection was stronger than the agency connection. Uh, so that's how I found out I got the role, from the guy at the owner of Vitello's.